5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom, and we're back in town. We had our summer break a little early.
Yeah, we took like a 2-week break, almost 3-week break.
Yeah, it was about 2 weeks. I was away for a week. It was almost 2 weeks.
I was gone before you left.
That's right.
And then and Tyler's just actually gone.
Yeah, Tyler's living it up with the Italians at a big dinner tonight, so he'll be joining us a little bit later on in our mid-season recap show. So for now, we're sticking to the Hungarian Grand Prix. This is our recap podcast. Yep. We didn't do one for Germany, of course, because we were away, so we won't go anything over in Germany. So with the doubleheader, going to Hungary to end before the season goes off for their annual 3-week break. And an interesting sort of weekend, I think, for Formula One and in terms of the championship picture. Coming out of Hungary, going into the break, Lewis Hamilton now holds a 24-point lead advantage, and it's the biggest margin of lead. It's the season. It's sort of been hovering around 17 points. It's been like as small as 1 point here and there. But now Lewis is quite ahead after Vettel.
Yeah, to be honest, I still expected Vettel to still hold it in the mid-season break. I thought he would still be up top. So,
and really he should be. If we just touch briefly back on the German Grand Prix, I mean, I was away at the cottage, and I had just checked the day of the race because I was really curious to see what happened. The day before in qualifying, Hamilton had to start P14. Vettel was on pole. I mean, it looked all done and dusted, and then I saw from Bleacher Report, it's like Hamilton wins German Grand Prix. I was like, what? Like, what happened? And then I saw when I came back that Vettel just completely messed it up on his own and crashes out.
He was giving after Hamilton's comment the race before, and he was just letting him have it.
Tactics,
Ferrari tactics.
Yeah, well, I mean, Ferrari's tactics might be helping Mercedes win their championship for 5th year in a row now. So we're going to be covering that a little bit more in our sort of mid-season review next week and in the weeks to come. Just a little bit interesting how this championship is playing out. It almost seems like Ferrari and Vettel should be way ahead.
Yep.
And now they're quite a ways behind.
And honestly, I think I expected Bottas to be in the top 3 other than Kimi. But I also changed my opinion based on Kimi's last 4 races. So
yeah, I think they said 5 races in a row now he's been on the podium.
Yeah, okay, 5 races.
Yeah,
sorry.
and the last time it happened was when he won the championship in 07. But it's actually interesting because out of the big 4, I guess you could say, let's say Vettel, Hamilton, Ricciardo, you can throw Verstappen in there. Big 6, let's say.
Yep.
I think he's been the most consistent.
I think so.
Because last 5 races, Hamilton's had a DNF, Vettel's had a DNF. I think Bottas maybe had, in Austria as well. Yeah. Of course, the Red Bulls for sure did. So who would have thought that, right?
Yeah, it happens once every 2 weeks, every second race, sorry. So,
I think we thought that Kimi was going to win here in Hungary, but it didn't happen, unfortunately.
That was our call, yeah.
Yeah, but fingers crossed.
It can still happen in Belgium.
Yeah, exactly. and just down the road, too, I think there's maybe 1 or 2 races in there that he could potentially win. He just needs some better qualifying sessions to get himself in position.
Yeah, he's been, he's always been an aggressive driver, but it seems like he's been a little more aggressive in the last couple of races, too, to actually want to win it. And like we've said, we could see him winning a race, so.
Definitely, yeah. This race, Ferrari actually forgot to connect his drinks bottle. He came on, I don't know at what point in the race, excuse me, but he was having a good back and forth for 2 minutes with the engineers. You forgot to connect the bottle. They're like, yeah, we did. We didn't connect it. So and then he's like, so is it back? Does it work? And he's like, no. And so they kept going back and forth. So I don't know if Kimi wasn't understanding that it just wasn't connected or whatever.
Huh.
And then eventually they were just like, no, you don't have the drink system. So and it was tough because it was 40 degrees track temp or whatever it was.
So did they not have it? Did he not have it for the entire race?
Entire race, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was my reaction. And then Marcus Ericsson came out a couple hours later and he said that he hasn't had a drink system in his car for over 2 years.
Wow.
Because he said the drink system adds about 1.5 kilos. I don't know how much that is in pounds. I think that's what he said. And he's a tall driver, so as tall drivers, of course, they weigh more.
Yeah.
And that weight issue becomes a huge part of how the whole car is set up. So they're just like, for performance purposes, we're just gonna get rid of it.
Man, he must drink at least 10 to 12 glasses of water before he starts that race. Yeah. Wow. I mean, it all comes down to the weight, I guess. If you're really that desperate for a win.
Yeah, I didn't even know that's what he did, but good for him, I guess. Because these drivers will lose, anywhere from 2 to 3 kilos per race, especially on a really hot race like this. I mean, the drink system or the drinks bottle in the car, I mean, it's super hot anyway.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's cool, refreshing water. It's,
sitting next to a hot ass engine.
Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty disgusting water, but it's, it's necessary for
hydrating.
Yeah, for hydration. So the Iceman, I think that's the one thing that saved him.
Yep.
So he was, even after in the driver's room, he wasn't jumping for a water bottle. He was just sitting there all calm.
Yeah, always.
Sipping water.
Except for in the race. Always calm out of the race.
Yeah, exactly. For sure. And then, moving on to the race, it was not bad.
Yeah, I think our reaction says it best.
Yeah, yeah. As the Hungarians say, "Nemi legio autoversen volt."
He's been waiting to say that one.
I've been waiting the whole season to use my Hungarian. Unfortunately, the Indian Grand Prix is not
a
calendar,
thing. You never know, though, with Force India.
Oh, yeah. There's another thing, too. Home. Yeah, Force India going into administration before this Grand Prix, so they're in some really dire financial times.
Yep.
But the good news is that it almost this was sort of planned for them. Mm-hmm. So it's not the worst case scenario, I guess, but there's some potential buyers. More interestingly, Lance Stroll's dad has come out as one of the potential buyers.
Hasn't or has?
Has.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And actually, there's been some rumors that he's actually already put in some money to Force India in terms of paying off Mercedes and Sergio Perez. So they said that Force India owed money to Mercedes, so their engine suppliers, and then also Sergio Perez.
Interesting.
So whatever it was, they just, they didn't pay him. Much like our public servants here in Canada. Just don't get paid.
Yes, the entire Phoenix system.
Yeah. Maybe Force India's got a similar system.
Yes, I think it's way worse than the Phoenix. Probably not. Probably not. I'm taking it too far.
Nothing's worse than what the government's been going on here, but so Lawrence Stroll, Lance's father, has he wants to more be an investor rather than the owner.
Okay.
But they said if he does come in to buy it, of course Lance would probably move into Force India for one of their drives.
That could be interesting.
I think so, yeah.
I mean, he'll still probably crash. But it could be interesting. Maybe we could see him up there.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know I think it would be with Perez. I think they're thinking Ocon might go somewhere else to Renault or something like that.
Okay.
But he is a Mercedes driver, so yeah, I don't know where exactly he'd be going, but that's sort of a lot of rumors floating around. So I think we just have to kind of wait and see how it plays out.
Yeah, there's a lot of rumors floating around already for next season.
Yeah. We don't want to be one of those kind of clickbait things, right? Yeah. Where we don't really know much of what's going on there, so we just kind of reporting what we read.
We're just putting our thoughts out there. Yeah, we don't agree with the rumors. Just,
it's
interesting.
Yeah, it sucks that they're in that position now. You see some of these teams like Mercedes and Ferrari who are thriving financially, and then you got a team like Force India that's almost struggling to make it to the grid. It's definitely not right.
Need to get some financial fair play in here, like they did in FIFA.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, right, but because they fine certain teams, right?
Yeah, they fine certain teams for spending a certain amount of money, or or buying too many players at once. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it could be interesting.
Yeah. We'll see what happens before. They're hoping to get it resolved before Belgium at the end of August. So
that's not too bad. That gives them a few weeks.
Yep, for sure. So getting back to the race, our first really big wet session of the year was the qualifying on Saturday, which made it very interesting. We had an hour straight of just cars running relentlessly just with the changing conditions. Ultimately, Lewis Hamilton was on pole with a very, very good lap. I think you kind of saw maybe the difference in skill between him and Vettel, because they always say that rain is kind of like an equalizer in terms of track performance.
Yep.
So Hamilton did put in a fantastic lap. And then in the race, he kind of ran away. You know, he was like he was strolling through Budapest and just really comfortably ahead. 17 seconds, I think you said.
Yeah, something like that. It was a classic, you know, it was a classic Lewis Hamilton race, in my opinion. You know, he got up ahead and he just kind of kept it. And that's what he's best at. So, I mean, I give him the race because he obviously did really well, but I don't know. It's just, it wasn't... I would have liked to see more action in the top 3 rather than, you know, in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and so on. You know?
Right. Yeah.
So
I find that too. That when Hamilton wins races, he usually like when Vettel is in first, he doesn't seem to pull away as much as Hamilton does.
And like I said, that's Lewis Hamilton. That's probably what he's best at.
Yeah.
In the F1 is as soon as he gets up front, he will hold it and he'll get up ahead. Compared to where, for some reason, whoever's in first, other than that, somebody will always be challenging.
Yeah.
So,
and we were making this comment as we were listening to some of the team radio at the end of the race. He's like, "Tough race for us guys," or something like that.
Yeah.
And you were like, "What do you mean?
What do you mean tough race? Yeah. You were up ahead the entire time. Like, Bottas had a hard time the entire race. Yeah. Like, come on, man."
It's again, like, you know, it's hard to not hate on it, but it's just like that same radio.
Yep.
Get in there, Lewis.
Yep.
Thanks, guys. You got the best fans out there. Great for the team.
Yep.
Mega job. It's like every other driver is more authentic. It's like, you know, reaction. It's him. It's just like it's like in the new F1 video game where you have all these like, you know, ready answers for media questions. Yeah. That's what it's like, you know.
Yeah. Well, like we've seen where Vettel's won a race, where Verstappen's won a race, and they're excited, you know, like when they won it in the British Grand Prix, like Vettel flew in Italian, you know, like, and he went all out. And when Verstappen won it in Austria, like, he was fired up to win it, and you know, he did do it for the fans, and you know, like, to do it back at home was a huge win for him. Where with Hamilton, you know, it's like, good job, guys, we did it.
Yeah,
the team did really well, like you said. So, no, I agree, man.
It's just like, let's see some authenticity a little bit here. You know, stop with the PR role or whatever. Yeah. Like, you know, it's annoying. It's honestly just getting really annoying from that. Other than that, you know, he's a fantastic driver, but it's hard to enjoy that a little bit when he's got that side of him that's not so likable.
And, you know, I've always thought that Hamilton was the biggest sore loser in the F1, but he's also the biggest sore winner, in my opinion. Like, after, like, watching the last couple of races or so, not couple races, but, you know, he just... like you said, they're just ready answers at all times, and when he doesn't win, he's ready to fire back for the reason why he didn't win. So
right, you got a point there. I saw a couple of tweets from people that were saying even when he's out in front and stuff like that, there's always certain, you know, little things that he's complaining about. I guess, but yeah, I mean, I don't think he's gonna change. You know, it's just
he's a great driver. He's got to hold it down.
Yeah, he's got to drilled into. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, he comes out on top again. And then what really got interesting, you know, much throughout the race was pretty boring. You know, Ferrari was trying to swap strategies. They started on the softer compound tires.
Yep.
So they were hoping that Vettel could, you know, attack a little bit at the end of the race with the ultra soft, but then they botched the pit stop. I think it ended up being like a 4.5 second pit stop.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, got behind traffic and then was stuck behind Valtteri, and then, you know, just... In Hungary, it's super hard to overtake. It's hard to follow, too. So you saw Vettel on the straights moving out of the slipstream of Valtteri to cool his car.
Yeah.
And then eventually he got by him, but it was without incident. Yes. Or, sorry, it was with incident.
With incident, yep.
I think everybody would agree, racing incident. You know, people were saying, well, who was at fault? That's, you know, tough to say. I think equally, I think Vettel did close the door on him for sure.
A little bit, but... I don't know. I think I'm thinking of the second incident with Bottas and Ricciardo, but yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what to say about that. It's definitely defined as a racing incident. I think that's what they went with. They didn't give him any time. Oh no, did they give Valtteri time for that?
No,
they didn't. Yeah. So yeah, I mean the second incident was a little bit worse for me, but
yeah. The Sky Sports did a good breakdown of it. They showed, like, when Vettel got by him, and as he was entering the corner, like, he was looking in his mirror. So he saw that he was at least a car length past him, and then his head turned to commit to his braking point. So then I think at that point it was like, you know, he couldn't see him. So I think that's a fair argument to make that maybe Bottas at that point, obviously he didn't have damage, but he had, severely worn tires at that point.
Yeah.
So I think that he probably should have conceded that corner instead of, really kind of sticking his nose in there.
Yeah.
And you kind of saw they dip his tire too on the grass.
Yeah.
So he was sort of, pushing the limits. But yeah, racing incident, and then the Ricciardo one was.
I rewatched it and I saw it again just quickly before we went on air, and for what I get that his front tires were out. I do get it, but it did not look like he turned, in my opinion. I might be wrong, but I mean he veered out of it fine. So
yeah, I think it was the mixture of the damaged front wing on the right side, I think. So then he locked up his front. Yeah. And then, whether frustration played into a factor and, he just didn't
I'm sure he tried. I'm sure he tried to turn.
I don't think he did it on purpose.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he did it on purpose. I'm sure he tried to turn, but that's what I'm saying. It didn't look like his car went at all.
Yeah,
so
we have actually the video. I think it's open.
Is it this one here? Yeah.
It's that one, and it's also the Twitter one, though. This was after. So this is the move here, but pay attention to inside the car, because Daniel Ricciardo has a little hand gesture he makes to Valtteri. So he goes the long way around, goes on the outside, and then this is what Shaker... Or was this before? No, okay, sorry.
Passes him.
Yeah, this is when he eventually passes him, and you see here, gives him the finger there just slightly. You can see just at the top there, his left hand comes out just to give him the finger. So this was after Mercedes told him to let Ricciardo take the position back because they were most likely going to get a penalty. But Valtteri didn't really want to give up the position. He made him work for it a little.
No, I think we heard it on team radio as well. He was like, should I let him go? Like, should I let him go? So it's what do we have here?
Yeah, this should be the actual incident himself. I don't know. Our internet's not looking too healthy, but yeah, he got screwed, man. I mean, it looked like a Mercedes 1-2. Yeah, here it is. And it was funny because the Christian Horner was on with Sky Sports at the time. But they didn't broadcast his reaction, unfortunately. Yeah, and then locks up the right front.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, just locked up the right front and then pushed him right off. Yeah.
Here let's see a slow-mo.
Yeah, it was... Valtteri left the braking pretty late.
Yeah, he really did.
I mean,
and it looked like he did take more damage than Ricciardo did, to be honest.
They both got lucky because they could have had punctures or, huge side pod damage, but yeah, they weren't happy about it either.
It's like, fuck. Double out.
But he caught up pretty quickly.
It was like just the last lap that he took it over, right?
Yeah. Either way, I think he would have had the fourth place through penalty. Yeah. So Mercedes was pretty smart to let him know that, hey, you're most likely going to get a penalty, so you might as well just
let it happen.
Let him by now. So, yeah, and then after the race, Toto Wolff comes out and says, Valtteri was a superb wingman, which, and then they asked Valtteri in the pen after, and you could see on his face as soon as the reporter told him that, just dejection, just like what? And he wasn't really happy about being called a wingman. So. Poor choice of words.
I don't see him as one either, and that's it's hard, he's doing so well, but he's just not winning. But I agree. I don't see him as a wingman.
He is now because he's just so far behind now in the championship that he's not really. A couple of races ago, he was in contention still.
Yeah.
And but I mean, now it's like. I mean, this race was just a culmination of his season, really, altogether. Just
absolutely.
Strategy not going his way. Racing just certain, overtakes just not going his way, and then eventually, same as Silverstone, ends up P4 or P5. Yeah. So he just ends up being the loser, in those situations, which is unfortunate. But yeah, I think going forward now he's playing the second fiddle.
For sure.
To Hamilton.
That's pretty much how it's going to go from now on. Yeah.
Yeah. Good drive though for Daniel Ricciardo.
Yep.
P14, really shitty qualifying for him. And for Verstappen as well, but Ricciardo goes through the field, finishes P4, which is good because last couple of races have not been really good and kind to Daniel Ricciardo. So going into the summer break, he'll at least have something positive. and then maybe we'll hear something about his contract for 2019 within the next couple of weeks.
Speaking of unkind to Red Bull.
Boy.
Can I show this clip now?
Yes. This is so this is from the F1 Life on Facebook, and Mad Max Uncut is the description.
Yeah. Mode 1.
This is what you didn't hear on the television.
I mean, you did.
Mate, really?
Just with a lot of beeps.
Look out, Gasly behind Max.
Yeah, can I not just go? I don't fucking care if this engine blows up.
He did not care at all.
Mate,
Okay.
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Stop the car, please, on track, Max. Stop the car, please.
Fuck! What a fucking joke all the fucking time with this shit, honestly. Ah.
I think that was it, right? Yeah, and then he pulled over and race was over.
I thought he said fuck one more time.
Probably a lot more times.
Probably saying it until he got back in the garage.
Yeah, citing, I think, MGUK issue for Renault. I think, who would have thought they'd be pretty happy moving to Honda engines? But yeah, Max was really pissed off.
I would be too. Yeah, that's what, 2 races in the last 3 that
I think so. Yeah.
That Red Bull's been taken out.
Yeah, so. Ricardo in Germany, and then
Verstappen
now. I think Verstappen and Silverstone had a.
Okay, so it's almost three for 3.
A lot, yeah. I think they said 8 DNFs or something like that for Red Bull, which I'd have to double check, but that's a lot.
That is a lot for like we said, top six drivers.
Yeah, man, that's.
And you know what? They're obviously not in contention for top. I wouldn't say not. They they could still be a surprise, but yeah, they're. I mean, it shows it.
Yeah, for
it definitely does show it on when you look at the championship standings. So
yeah, it sucks for them, man. But that Renault partnership is just coming into an ugly end for them.
Yeah.
And now Renault's saying that they're not really listening to Christian Horner anymore, and they have to use some older parts, all that stuff. So it's just a whole.
Wow, that's great for your
Renault.
Team morale.
Yeah, so I don't know. They're just not having a lot of confidence moving forward into these races when you're just not sure about these parts you're getting from Renault. Yeah. It's not like they're purposely trying to sabotage Red Bull, but it's just it's not an ideal partnership right now.
Yeah.
So sucks for the Red Bull boys.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was kind of pretty much it from the race. Fernando Alonso on his 37th birthday, a good finish in P8.
Yep.
They got the strategy right for once, actually. And even Van Dorn was going pretty well until he had his issue. He lost drive. There's my phone just going off. I'll turn that down. He lost drive, and it was a gearbox issue, so he had to retire early.
Mm-hmm.
And then just also on McLaren and Fernando Alonso. So rumors that he might be going to IndyCar next year. We don't know what's going on with him.
Oh, wow, okay.
So Michael Andretti, who he drove for in the McLaren when he did the Indy 500, he said that they need to know about by August 19th whether he's going to commit to IndyCar or not.
Yeah, because they need to work out their team, obviously. Yeah.
Exactly. So they've sort of given him a pretty short window from now, until August 19th to figure out what he wants to do. And that's relating to if he wants to go to IndyCar.
Okay.
But yeah, he's still not sure what he's doing for 2019.
What do you think? Do you think he's going to be gone?
I said before, yes. I'd probably say as of now, I would say that, yeah.
Still, yeah.
Nothing's really improved, and there's been a lot of changes, in the management in the last couple of weeks. But, when you've got McLaren coming out and saying it could be between 2 and 10 years between they get back to their old selves, I mean, Alonso's going to be 47, trying to will the McLaren home. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I think he's going to be gone too.
I would say so. And if you look at IndyCar, their races, they're consistently always exciting in terms of there's a lot of overtaking. You don't know really who's going to win. There's a good mix of races there, and he's going to want to go for the Triple Crown, the Indy 500, which he doesn't have yet. So I would probably say yes. I right now I'm going to say he does not return to Formula 1 in 2019, but I don't know yet. I can't really say if he's going to go to IndyCar.
Does he have any time left on his contract, or is this technically the last year he's signed on?
Yeah, good question. I think this is. I'm not sure. He might have signed for 2 years last year.
Okay.
I'd have to double check. But I think that he probably doesn't even care if he has even another year.
Yeah, he probably doesn't care. You're right. So speaking of 2019, I saw this thing that you posted for new spec wings, eh?
Yeah, they're still doing some testing at the Hungaroring before the summer break. So some of the teams are using their reserve drivers.
Okay.
But some like Ricardo's still there. Hartley, who did the most laps on day one. So a lot of the big drivers are still there. But it's funny, actually, Antonio Giovinazzi, who drove for Sauber in FP1 in Germany, who's a Ferrari driver, actually broke the lap record
really?
On day one, which was
pretty
impressive. But he was driving in the Ferrari, obviously.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, still a good lap. But yeah, I posted this on our Twitter for anybody that saw it. Some of the teams were trying out the new spec 2019 wings, the front wings. And we got a couple of the pictures here. I only posted a couple. This is courtesy of F1.com. So you can see that this is on the Williams here, that the front wings are slightly more simplistic.
Yeah.
To me, they're still confusing. I mean, they still look pretty intricate to me, but they are a little more straightforward.
It looks a little more spaced out there, eh? Compared to how they have it right now.
Yeah, I want to say they're a little bit wider. One of the pictures you see the end plates of the wing. It's a bit thicker too on the sides of it. Yeah, if you can
I see that
where the BWT is. So it's a bit thicker there. So they're only testing out the new front wings. The rear wing is supposed to get wider too as well. And they're supposed to remove also the brake ducts too on the front of the car. They're going to remove the brake duct inlets just to keep everything simpler. So this is all to promote, better following between the cars, more overtaking, and that's set to come in,
nice.
Right away next year in 2019. So yeah, there you can see on the side, right? That's a bit thicker on that side end plate there of the front wing. So yeah, they do look a bit simpler. But my fear is that, like, some of these teams, like, Ferrari, for example, they always try and, like, cut the corners in a way to kind of get around the regulations.
That's gonna be my comment too. Where since they're wide, there's more chances of them actually coming off if they're going up on those corners.
Yeah, true, right? I mean, there's more chance for front wing damage there as well.
Yeah.
But we'll see how that plays out. I mean, it will be interesting to see what the drivers have to say. But this is still a prototype, and it's still pretty early on, so. They don't have the full new aero package, so it's kind of tough to see. But they're debuting it so far, so that kind of gives you a little bit of a preview of what it looks like. And I think that was roughly about it. We do an F1 fantasy update.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah, I neglected my fantasy for like 3 weeks.
I still have, yes. Yeah, same.
But you're doing pretty well. You're in 6th for not doing anything.
like my name says, man, lick it and just send it.
Exactly. But we have a new leader, and apologies to our contestants in that I haven't checked it in the last 2 weeks or so, with vacation and a pretty busy time here. But we're looking back to getting back on the horse. So this is Fishlegs' team for the Hungarian Grand Prix, 185 points. Not bad. 2 Haas drivers in there, turbo drive Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz, who looked like he was supposed to have a promising race starting at P5, ended up not finishing very well.
Pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, so.
Anybody got anything different?
A lot of the same.
Vettel,
Ricardo.
Yeah.
Yeah, our boy Charles Leclerc, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was so unfortunate.
He was my turbo driver. God damn it.
What did I have? All right.
Is this yours?
Alonso's my turbo driver.
Nice, great pick. Yeah, that's a good pick. Ferrari, good constructor pick as well. Yeah, Pierre Gasly. Almost forgot about Pierre Gasly.
Yeah, I did too. He had
P6.
As soon as I saw that, I was good for him. That's two like top 6 finishes I want to say this season for him.
Bahrain was P6. And, I think that was it. But yeah, you're right. I think there was 2.
And I think he's made another couple of what do I want to say here, Chris? He got some points in like 2 other races.
Oh yeah,
3 other races. So that's like good for him.
Yeah, and Hartley got into Q3 as well too. That was the first time in his career. So yeah, good weekend for Toro Rosso. So yeah, good pick throwing him in there for sure. And then we got Red Team 5.
Red Team 5
who was in the lead for a while, but the points are still close. So.
Yeah, he still got he or she still got a decent amount of points.
Yeah, I think it's
I'm assuming.
Mario.
Oh, okay, I saw the name afterwards.
Italia.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't discriminate.
Yeah, we don't gender discriminate, bro. We include all 73 non-binary genders.
We do.
Not really.
No. Yeah, so good. 182 points. Wow.
Yeah.
So, and this one was 185, so it was really close, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's still pretty close between the top 3.
Have more people come on to this now?
We're at 16. We might have
okay.
had 1. Yeah.
Kingslayers Racing Team. Where's
There.
Oh wow! So you and Tyler are right next to each other, right?
What's sad is Tyler's a week behind because he started late, and
I know.
Still close. Good for Tyler though. Oh yeah, that's right. He's still picking the 2 Ferrari boys. Good for him.
And he got Alonso as a turbo driver.
If he wouldn't have had Verstappen, he probably would have had a really. Why did he pick Renault? Maybe we ran out of money. I don't know.
Probably. Yeah. I decided to choose my my constructors first, and then work my team around it.
Yeah,
because I knew I was going to choose Mercedes or Ferrari.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And good. There's some good team names on here too, for sure.
So what are you at, Chris? What do you have for your picks?
Yeah, that was turbo drive.
Yeah, this one. That's so stupid though. Where like if you choose a turbo driver
right?
and you like doubles your negative points, I get it, but it's also stupid.
Yeah, unfortunately. Oh well, I'll have to make a comeback. So stay on top of that, guys. We're round 12 now, the championship, moving on to race 13. So remember, first place winner gets some special prizes from us at the end of the year. So stay on top of that, unlike me, who forgets to do it.
Same. I do this in all of my fantasies.
Yeah. So I think that's about it for us on the Hungarian Grand Prix recap. So yeah, no F1 for 3 weeks.
Yep.
Schedule for us, though. You know, F1 might be in a break, but we won't be. We'll be back within the next week or so with our mid-season report card. So we'll go through every team, every driver, and kind of give some grades as to how they've done so far, and just sort of recapping our favorite moments of the 2018 season.
Before we go, is this up yet?
Oh, power rankings?
I mean, we haven't really touched base on it in a while. It's not even up yet.
No, not yet. No, we can do that then for the mid-season.
Yeah, we'll do that for that
report. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, in the meantime, check us on Twitter and Instagram because we'll be posting some fan Q&A questions. So we'd like to do just a separate episode, just all answering some fan questions just about the 2018 season so far. So send those in, whether on Instagram, on Twitter, or if you're old school, send it through email.
Yes.
We're also available on email.
Yes.
That is the BackMarkers F1 show at gmail.com for all you emailers out there. So we are going to try and be busy within the next couple weeks. The F1 video game 2018 edition is being released August 24th.
Okay, cool.
I wish they would release it earlier because we got nothing to do for 3 weeks.
Yeah, so we would actually had time to kill. But yeah.
Make sure you guys check it out because this game looks really good for this season. A lot of updates from last year. Last year's game was terrific. This year's game is going to be even better. So I think we might be doing something for that too. We might have to
let's hope.
Try and set some fast laps on that as well.
Yep.
So... yeah, stay up to date with that. Anything else from you?
I think that's it.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah. All right. Tyler McDonald will be back with us for the report.
Yes.
On
hopefully
he
brings us some food from his dinner next time.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be very nice of him.
Yeah.
In the meantime, of course, subscribe to us below. Comment on what you thought of the 2018 Hungarian Grand Prix. It wasn't the best one out there. Unfortunately, it wasn't that great of a race to send us off into the summer break, but it is what it is. You're going to take the races as they come. Next one we're up in is Spa, the Johnny Walker Belgian Grand Prix. I think they changed sponsorships. And that is, what does it say, 24th to the 26th. So looking forward to that one.
Yeah, it should be good.
Historic track.
Is this going to be playing in the evening?
It should be AM for us.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was looking at this and I was like, what is going on? Okay.
It just says your time. Okay, yeah. So that will be the longest track on the F1 calendar, if I'm correct. Spa.
Nice.
Francorchamps.
It's really fun to play on Forza. So.
Yeah, that's true. Eh?
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I played it on F1, but it's a tough track.
Yeah, it is. I used the classic '80s. I used Niki Lauda's car.
Oh, really? Nice. So that car also in F1 2018. Yeah, it's a historical car.
Yeah, it's fun.
So yeah. All right, I think that's about it for us. Köszönjük szépen. That's in Hungarian. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, that is all the Hungarian you're going to get for now until next year's GP. So, in the meantime, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate all the support that we get from you guys. Much more videos to come in the next 3 weeks during the summer break. It's a long break, guys. It's a long time without Formula One, so bear with us and bear with everybody. Try and find something to do. Maybe hang out with your family for once now that F1 is on a break. Go see friends you haven't seen in a while, or stick to our channel because we'll be bringing a lot of videos. All right. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Yeah.